Hi everyone, thanks for taking our time for today. I think before we jump into the slide, introducing myself, I'm Rehan. I work as an ecosystem manager at Starkware. My job is basically to help early stage founders, take them from 0 to 1. Basically, if you're an interesting person wanting to build in crypto, and if you're vaguely interested in Starknet, please reach out, happy to help. If you're also not a founder, then please reach out, and if you want to learn about Starknet, happy to help. Before this, I used to work for a VC fund based in London, but that's for another time. But essentially, today we're going to go into users. The one thing which crypto is looking for, and with the one thing which all of us are looking for, at least I am personally very much interested in. We have all this infra which Altlayer has provided, Starkware has provided, Eigenlayer has provided, like so many infrastructure players, but what's lacking is users. So we're going to go through users and why the 500K number is a big deal if you're an app, not a big deal if you're a chain, but let's go through it. Before I even tell you anything about the app, this is the TLDR of why we're talking over here and why I'm here to talk to you folks about, which is that the number you see there, 500K, is the amount of users that got onboarded on chain in the last 8 weeks by an app called Focustree. Basically, these are legit users who have a mobile phone with them and who are actually young people who look to solve a unique problem. They have a wallet that's currently active on Starknet, which they use every day. What you see here is, I think Focustree was fighting it out with Duolingo and Revolut in either France Play Store or the Belgium Play Store on the most amount of downloads. I think they currently are at like 1 million or like 1.1 mil downloads, which in my opinion is like quite crazy, the explosive growth they've had in such short amount of time. Let's get into it. Well, what you see on the screen is Focustree. Focustree is a mobile app that helps you focus on the task at hand. What it does is it prompts you for a preset timer, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you could set that timer that locks your phone. You complete your task, then you come back after 20 minutes and you get rewarded with a tile. That tile helps you grow your garden. What this tile is internally is basically an NFT, and that's basically what is on Starknet with a wallet and all the features there. You don't pay a gas fee, you don't pay anything, you don't even know that you're using crypto. It's just an app that helps you focus and helps you solve a problem. I'm going to spend the next like 5 to 10 seconds just talking about why this is important. Basically, because today it's an NFT that gets introduced to students, to early stage users as like crypto, and like they don't even know it. Tomorrow, or like maybe a couple of months from now, you could have them getting introduced to things which are like DeFi with lending, borrowing. Essentially, you then slowly introduce crypto in their lives, especially if they're young and if they are from growing countries. What you have is they don't have access to banking, they don't have access to so much of financial infrastructure, which they can get access to using crypto. But that's essentially a bit about Focustree, essentially what it is and what actually is crypto in Focustree. I think what problem does it solve? Just going to reiterate that it solves the problem of having attention spans which are quite less. And if you're a student, if you are not a student, if you can go back to time and remember, if you had like a TikTok or Instagram or YouTube on your phone, you're going to have an insanely hard time basically studying and focusing outside your phone and not touching your phone. And that's what essentially Focustree helps you solve. For who? It's for students. What started off as like, I think they started off as like open for all. Anyone that wants to have focus to help their attention spans should be using it. But as any startup iterates and pivots, they iterated, they pivoted, and they found that their core user group are young people under 21, usually students, usually people who are studying for exams, who have their end sems, who have the year ends, who are studying for like entrance exams. I think after having explained Focustree, we get into the nitty-gritty of how actually they've been able to do this in the last 8 weeks, essentially. The TLDR of my entire talk is basically this slide, which is they assume that there are no crypto and non-crypto and native and non-native users. There are just users. There are just people in this world who have a problem who need it to be solved. They didn't do any expensive marketing because oftentimes if you're an early stage startup, what you have is 12 to 18 months of runway max, and you have like maybe 1 or 2 full-time employees, and you can't afford to spend that money organizing a conference in Cannes, or doing stuff with like YouTube videos and big advertisements with big personalities. So they did least expensive marketing. They removed everything related to crypto, which is no wallet address, sponsored transactions, very fast, very cheap. It basically is a Web2 app with crypto at the back end, which is what all of us want, which is what the need of the hour is for crypto. I mean, just reiterating, I think half of you already know what I'm going to speak, but we basically have a Ferrari, but nobody's using it, so what's the point? So we have all this infra, we have Starknet, we have Biden, we have like hundreds of roll-ups, we have roll-up providers, which are all Ferraris and Lamborghinis in their own way, but nobody actually uses them and onboards users, so what's the point, right? Just going through like the idea maze which they went through, I think the mission was to increase people's focus. As I said, like anyone was open to use it. They basically got incentivized towards the end, which acted like a reinforcing mechanism, which helped them basically grow their audience from 0 to 100. Initial target was Starknet users and early Starknet users, but essentially they figured out that the current target group actually is students who want to focus on exams. The big question is, okay, you have an idea, you have all this Ferrari and Lamborghini, but like, what the hell, like, how do you get users? Like, that's like the main question, right? Like, how do you actually go about onboarding users and targeting your particular users? Well, I think they did three things very, very well, which I had the pleasure of talking to the CEO and finding out. The first thing which they did was, as I said, they had less budget, so they didn't spend it on like massive campaigns. What they did was basically use TikTok. So you have all this, so they figured out that students use TikTok a lot. How do you capture their attention? You pay the content creators like 1.5K max a month. You pay like 5 content creators, that's like 6K a month, and or like 7.5K a month, and you basically end up having the attention of like 1 million users. And by the way, this is like super cheap, and this is not like you go and sign with like the biggest celebrity in the world. It's like, this is your user group. Which influencer is the closest to your user group is what you have to understand, and essentially end up with like a good amount of audience that's closer to you and can help you onboard to your app. That's what they did. They were happy enough to put out a playbook, which we at Starknet also put out and help our founders with. This is like a small dumbed down version of it, but essentially they have a playbook which they've helped us with and which we help our startups with. Second thing, I think, founder marketing. What you see here is basically buzzwords from marketing, but essentially, in my words, founder marketing basically helps you stay close to your customer, which helps you get insane feedback, like this minute, this second, that helps you get feedback, which you can incorporate in your product and bring the change about. What that actually means in marketing terms, it's inexpensive, interpersonal, helps your personality. You don't need to like keep tweeting and making noise. Helps have a cool brand perception. This is like a few things which we at least like Mert does a good job of it. The Focus Tree founder went on the Roll Up podcast. Someone else went over there as well. So I think that's like something which we found to be very, very useful as like something which startups should be able to do with like low budget, right? Lastly, memes. Actually, I was surprised to learn this like I think 24 months ago, that the most things which we call culture today in this world started off as memes like 50, 100 years ago. And basically memes are a way of, one meme helps you understand or like get the point across in a much more crisper way than like pages of like documents explaining what your thesis is and like how this helps you. Essentially, they are relatable, they demystify a product, they have a cool brand perception for you. There are a few which we like Solana, obviously increased bandwidth, reduced latency was really, really good. Our founder Ellie on the stage there, a couple of memes here, but this helps a lot. For example, I think my colleague Victor is like super good at memes, so he helped spin this up. This is basically a TLDR of the infra which Starknet provided to Focus Tree, which helped them onboard all those users. Quite easy to understand and get the point across to you people. So I think from that meme, I'm going to go into like non-meme stuff, or like how actually the tech works under the hood for Focus Tree. Everything related to crypto was removed. No wallet, no tokens, no gas fee, no signing of transactions, absolutely nothing. The only way you find out you have a wallet is you go to settings, and you are able to see that there's a wallet there underneath. Okay, I have 5 minutes. I'm going to rush through now. Basically, I'm going to skip this. Basically, you do all the infrastructure stuff, and you might assume it's going to cost like a lot of money. It actually doesn't. It costs you less than an SMS for two-factor authentication. If you can see here, 230,000 users is what they had like 4 weeks ago. It cost them 1,100. It actually would have costed them 2,200 if they went with an SMS 2FA service. That's how cheap it is. That's how cheap Starknet is. That's how it basically was able to sponsor gas fees as a startup, by the way, for like 500,000 users. We also have the Paymaster, which helps you abstract the gas fees, cartridge, Starknet.js, which you can implement. We have like account abstraction was the buzz like 18 months ago or 12 months ago when Ethereum was upgrading. But we basically have had account abstraction since the day we were like running, like I don't know, 3-4 years ago, which basically helps you a lot. And what this helps is 15 steps, I think, gets compressed down to like 2 steps. You don't have to create a wallet. You don't have to like remember the seed phrase. You don't have to like sign a transaction, go through the gas fee or like anything of that sort. It also like helps because we are one of the cheapest chains right now. Like I think number 2, like a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we have like a bunch of infrastructure which we built out. So yeah, if you're like a founder who wants to build like Focus Tree, wants to actually talk about users and actually wants to have a real world impact and bring crypto to the masses, please reach out. We have all these things which are not only the tech, but also some accelerators, but also some advisorship from like other known players in the Web2 world, which we can help you out with, marketing support, grant support, whatever you might need. But basically, we're doubling down on at least getting for Ethereum consumer dApps out there that can help us onboard the next million users. The tech is here. We need just ideas. Yep, reach out if you're interested. Thank you.